I think it's important that people outside of footy understand that we are human beings. You deal with so much. We deal with anxiety on performance, expectation on performance, people ridiculing you. When you cross that white line, you're generally a different person because you're ferocious, you're competitive, you want the footy. When you step off the field, you're a different person. I mean, I love everyone. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I care for everyone. I want everyone to love me. That's how I am. When I talk about the experience that I went through, I felt like I was a fraud. I felt like I was coming into the club not showing what I was really like. If it wasn't for my partner Kimmy, for Nick Maxwell, Bucks, Jackie, who's my psych / really, really good friend, my family, I probably wouldn't be playing footy, to be honest with you. I was at the end, I almost wanted to, and that's the brutal truth, I almost wanted to stop playing. And if it wasn't for them guys, the love and support that I have from my teammates, I mean, I still have my struggles, but from where I am 12 months ago, I am that far ahead.
It was one of the most compelling insights that we've had on Players' Night through the years, provided by Adam Treloar last night. Bob Murphy, welcome.
Hello, Jared.
Nick Riewoldt, hello.
Jay.
Nicky.
What did you think when you watched and listened?
Like everyone else, it's raw, confronting, and I surprised that it was Adam, but then also not surprised that that's, he's a young man playing league footy under the spotlight, and I know what that's about. So I think it's the tip of the iceberg.
So it was a familiar tale. So when he was telling the story, did you think, another one? I've heard this many times. You've experienced it at your own club.
Yeah, but I also think it's a matter of degrees, not whether... It's not like left-handers. It's like on this gradient of anxiety that league footballers deal with.
What would you believe yours to be, Bob?
Yeah, reasonable. Yeah, I describe it like a constant static. It never really went away, but and Adam described it really well. But the constantly being judged and critiqued and watched all the time. It's like the dripping tap, and we know how hard the game is because we get to see that. We observe it and you see the games every week. But I think about more the waiting to play. The waiting to play was a torturous experience for me. It was just dread.
What was your level?
Same, yeah, same. Game day was something to endure, not enjoy. So people say, I can't wait to play this week. Yeah, I can't wait to get out there. But the time in between the last training session and the waiting to play it's horrific.
What were you like?
Not everyone's like. I think that's part of why I was such a lunatic, Robbo. Like, and getting there early and trying to burn that nervous. I couldn't sit still.
But because routine starts to soothe a bit of because you can start to control something.
And I look back and I wish I wasn't wound up that way. And not everyone's like that. Like Jack, we're related, and he's not like that at all. He's a kid in a candy store. So he doesn't, and again, there are degrees, but he's not at that end of the spectrum. The very last game of footy that I played in, we played Richmond at the MCG. I knew it was my last game, and still I was in the shower before the game, and Kath always said I had this crazy brushing of it, like it was it's game day. You're brushing your teeth like a psychopath. Like, it was hard, it was aggressive, I was just out of myself. And she said, it's your last game. Surely this is the time to just enjoy it, but not, because it was still an opportunity to go out and be judged. So either enhance your reputation or chip away and diminish your reputation based on what you did on the field for 2 hours. Now, that might not be the reality, but that's just the way I felt. And I think that's true for a lot of players. And it's the dynamic has shifted absolutely because of the existence of social media. Now everyone can be a critic, everyone can be a commentator, and players can't help themselves. And whether you're on it or not, it has a way of finding you.
You can feel it too. You can not read it, and you can not read the paper, or you can not chase social media, but you can also feel it. But I also wonder, Nick, and now that we've finished, I'm not sure. I don't know this to be true, but if you read something about yourself on social media that is nasty, and we know that there's some nasty things. Back in the day, you stuff up on the field, you have a bad moment, whatever. You can hear the groan of the crowd, and you can tell a lot from the noise of the crowd, whether it's embarrassment, frustration, humour. You can gauge a lot. But once you've seen something written about you that sort of is a hit to the heart, you only have to see it once. Every time that groan or that noise, you've got a reference point of what that is. So what used to be just a big wall of noise, now might be 30,000 spikes. Whether that rings true, I'm not too sure. But
I think when you start and you win a game of footy, there's jubilation up here, but gradually I've felt like it started to shift and almost converge in the middle at equal parts. It's just relief. It's relief that that's over and we won, and the jubilation laid on top of that. Like we used to joking that this is the best time of the week, in the showers after the game, because it's the longest period of time possible before we've got to come out and go through the build-up all again. Before you have to wait to play again. Once the ball's bounced, you're away. It's instinct. It's what you know. It's what you're good at. The competitiveness just takes over. Which
is why I think now you hear players are talking about themselves. The language has shifted. Coaches, the way Buck saying, he loves them. There's a lot of family, brotherhood, because they're looking after each other to close ranks. But also that comes with the pressure itself, because siblings know each other better than anyone, and you want to make them proud. And so when you review the team and when you don't play well, you let the team down with an act, players are crushed by that. So it's not just the media and it's not just social media, but it's that constantly not wanting to let people down, but then you're exposed. The game exposes everyone, for better or worse.
It's just you just wanted to click your fingers and have the game start, because that's what you love to do. You love to get out there, you love to compete, but the waiting for me and for a lot of players, and it's shifting more and more, I think, was hard to put up with, hard to deal with.